everyone.
Is it really supposed to be denied? The guy on the bottom. I know who he is.
Wait, did I just see a 12k Dragon Lore?
Probably.
Yep. All right. Let's see how these pick and bans go.
3 trains in a row would be crazy.
3 trains in a row would be indeed insane. But we're not getting that. We're getting Mirage or Nuke. We're getting a Nuke game. All right. Posts have been made.
Time to roll.
Discord events live.
Just got the phone notification for locally hated NA.
For Twitch or for Twitter?
For Twitch.
I was expecting Twitter.
No, Twitter never sends it immediately. It always takes a little bit. Let me get on there. I'll run it up.
Wrong channel. Whoops. Meant to post that in here.
Graham's tweet just popped up on the top of my For You page. No. This is my man. This is my man.
Wait, what's the at?
It's literally just my name. Here, let me get you on my throwaway. Wait, what's your at?
EXP ... Like DOT.
Oh. Oh, oops. What am I doing? We're good. We're good. We're in.
Bro, why am I getting an ad on Twitter Premium for hiring through Twitter?
That's crazy.
You should buy some Google ads for locally hated. No kizzy.
Never say that ever again.
Which part?
All of it. All right, I'm going to standing desk.
And we are completely locking in.
And I'm going to tiny desk.
I'm gonna go join Discord on my phone. I'm gonna go lay in my bed.
That's crazy. Casting from the dead.
Take my dog on the walk.
A Discord sleep call, fucking cast.
Bro, that's gonna be me if you got me waking up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. I'm gonna be rolling out of my bed just
5
up
a.m.
to
for
y'all, I'm
what?
down.
What is second?
The
I mean,
Mongolian Grand Finals, bro. I was the only person
actually wake
casting.
up.
I was the other night.
Yeah, I mean, one or the other.
I mean, yeah, if we stay up, we can do the Oceania Grand Finals or something. Yeah, I'm
I'm
off
done.
tomorrow.
Shit. I was just gonna say I'm just gonna have zero
time does it
energy
start?
by 5 a.m.
5:30.
We can
Yo,
just
I
do.
should high key already be awake.
Bro, fire.
No, I am not capping. I swear to God, I've been waking up at 7 a.m. every day for the last week. That's why I haven't really been in here.
Just like body clock, or you got something going on?
I'm just trying to get back on a normal schedule because I
That's good
hope
for
to
you.
God.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm actively searching for work, and it's gonna be really hard to just magically flip from being up from to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
to not like.
Bro, I used to
I
work.
plan on getting out of here before midnight, and I should be up by 7 o'clock. I can high key do this.
That's fire. No, I
Here,
used
I'm
to
pulling
work
up
at a
HLTV.
grocery store, 4 a.m. shifts. That was the worst.
Dude, it honestly just doesn't sound that bad.
No, it's
you're
because you
doing
get off at
leaving at 1
noon
o'clock.
and you have like the day to yourself. But like being
You
a
just gotta crash
gamer
out to bed.
and I'm used to staying up late and then having to go to bed at 6 p.m. is kind of brutal. But besides that, it's nice to have your days.
So tonight at
agreed.
11:30, FlyQuest and Semperfi play, or FlyQuest play the winner of Semperfi and X-Talon for the grand finals of the Oceania qualifier, or Oceania MRQ. And the next major game is there's Asia qualifier and then China qualifier.
I was just gonna
But
say, bro, open
grand-
Counter Strike and just do a random high rated Premier match.
Bro, that's crazy. Semperfi
That's
and
crazy work.
X-Talon are supposed to play at. They're supposed to play at 10 o'clock, and then damn, that's just really early for that. That's nuts.
I mean, it's either we cast the grand final of the like FlyQuest and Semperfi, because we know Semperfi is gonna win, probably, right? Semperfi beat
I mean, they
X-Talon.
could.
Semperfi beat X-Talon 2 days ago to play FlyQuest, got knocked into the lower bracket, and X-Talon beat Rooster to face up against Semper Fi
Alistair
again.
on Semper Fi is kind of crazy, actually.
He shit the bed yesterday, bro. He went like 218.
Oh, really? That's rough.
Yep.
Who did?
Alistair.
Oh, bro,
my-
yeah. No, he went 212. At least first half, he went 212. That might have been full game.
I have a mouse pad with the entirety of Golden 5 VP on it and the first major winning Astralis. And I put Alistair's signature on there. I love this man, but he
Alistair's my
is so
goat.
fucking flippy. He is honestly the goat. Dude's fucking hilarious. His streams are great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty casual, but he's for sure like my favorite player. Whenever I started watching competitive CS, it was FlyQuest match. I always liked him because the mustache, if you want me to be honest.
Oh, I'm a mad FlyQuest fanboy.
That's fire. I fist bumped him whenever we went to Atlanta, and I always joke that I never wash that hand anymore.
That's hilarious. I think it's funny the dude's like 5'8".
Yeah, I mean, most of these esports players pretty fucking short.
I know, but like, fucking our team wasn't. Jeff's like 6'4". I know, man. I'm
So
the
the two
shortest
grand
one.
finals happening. Sorry to cut you off.
6'1".
The two grand finals that are happening are at 11:30 tonight, and that's the Oceania and Australian one, and then at 5:30 tomorrow morning of what's it called? Of Asia, which would be Eruption and either Chinggis Warriors or God's Reign, which fuck you,
God's
Graham. God's Reign
Reign.
beat Huns.
That's fire.
They
Yeah,
beat
that's
Huns and they
crazy.
we're staying up.
To watch
We are
Pokemon?
staying up. Hell yeah. We are
I got
staying
nothing
up
going on.
and watching Chinggis Warriors and God's Reign. We're gonna cast the
Oh my
FlyQuest
God.
match.
Bro,
Go
Coolest is
into
on this team. Shout out Coolest.
So we're just gonna stream past literally all night.
no. I mean, from like after this match until the FlyQuest game starts, we won't be doing anything.
I swear to God, if the Indian team makes it through, I'm gonna be
Bro,
shook.
they have Pokemon. Knife round
Dude, I
is
know they have
on.
Pokemon.
Knife round is live. Locally hated versus TSG. Best of one. What? Yo, Sam, correct me if I'm wrong. Or you might have been here when I said earlier, but Vulcan, like, played with a cheater in a qualifier, no?
That's what you said earlier, yo.
Beautiful
Didn't know if
knife
you were
round.
here. Yeah, good right
I,
knife round.
I actually don't remember that happening.
I wanna say it
but
was,
I
like,
just
during
know
the
it's
dust.
FPL. Yeah, I'm on it.
Alright. Locally hated taking the CT side.
As
HUD is
expected.
backwards. Shout out production truck. No, I
He's
know.
working on a fix.
I'm helping. I'm just trying to help. There you go. And looks like a fast ramp push coming out of the T's here. And I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm not L. I'm gonna call him L. Sarah, good for 2. On the single door and jumps back across. Saber, good for 1 with the dualies and double doors. And Ethex able to pick one up. Sarah goes down to Horizon with the Glock. And Horizon now in a 1v3. Trying to find any information he can. Any over peaks from the CTs. Ethex seems completely ready for this peak for Horizon, but he decides to back up. Starts to peek, takes some info, makes himself known on the B site. And Horizon gets a nice double gush onto Astari, able to take him out. And Horizon seems aware that he is. Double doors and Saber
I sent you
able to pick up 2 in the
Yeah.
round. Very strong round with the dualies there.
Good start to the round for TSG, rushing through ramp, getting the first one. Locally hated, playing it smart, running back, running down either ladder or secret, getting there and playing the not retake, but retake of the site beautifully.
And straight off that strong pistol round, we have a M4 on the Saber and MP9s all around for the rest of Locally Hated. And as expected, I was going to be pretty disappointed if we didn't see an M4 come out of Saber with the 4,000 in the bank account. See what
That
the
grenade
T's are
missed.
able to make happen, if anything. Yeah, the grenade
I
did
don't know how they
miss,
didn't blow
no
up the door.
boom.
Just noticed
Alright,
TSG has a
yeah,
player named
pick.
Andrew on their team. Saber with a big kill with that M4.
And Horizon takes a nice big flash. Sarah completely unaware that there's a player on top of him, but aware of the possibility, keeps looking back.
He picks dropping
Effects,
down.
yep, making a
Till
good
the
drop out of
site.
heaven.
It seems the CTs are slowly crunching in on what the T's are doing and drop them in lobby. Andrew running out, getting killed by Alec.
Alec able to pick up a nice straight frag on Andrew with the bait setup. Zera picks up Horizon outside mini, and Ellen Crash here. Kind of forced into a rough situation here. Forced to run into
I
the
believe
MP9s.
his-
Easy money for the CTs.
I believe his name is pronounced Elixin.
Elixin or
Elixin. Like
Lixin?
Elixir, Elixin,
Okay.
Lixin.
Very clean force from Locally Hated, not dropping anything, able to carry everything into the next round.
And we have the first
5
rifle
AKs,
round.
but very low util.
Yeah, and if I had to guess, we're going to see some sort of direct outside play, or maybe even a hit from the TSG side here. And Zera running through with the MP9, completely disrespecting
They know he's there.
TSG here. Effects. Seems to be known that he is Africa. Falls out perfectly, and they seem to be aware of some sort of lurk coming in from lobby late. I would almost call that a
Actually
big
just
boom.
dropped
What
that
do you think,
name.
Cobb?
I'm gonna be honest, the boom detector was not watching. I was taking a peek at the map. Got a nice trophy re-smoke. Very worried
He
about
lost half
this.
his HP there. Andrew took some damage as well, I'm pretty sure. That was a solid
That
boom.
would qualify for a pretty solid boom.
Ethic's aware that someone might be coming up towards heaven, taking it very slowly, not exactly wanting to peek outside, but getting ready. Oh, making noise, not seeing the
Just
shadow.
missing
He
the
gets 4 by
timing.
3. Vulcan getting him. Vulcan
Vulcan.
getting traded out by Astari. Crashing coming up through. Vulcan will not expect the second. Astari won't expect the second. Alec getting the kill. Getting the trade, and bomb is stuck in heaven, so that means they have to go up there and get it, which is going to fucking suck. Elixir walking back outside.
Hold
Not
out here
aware
for
that
the
Saber's
secret.
gonna be stuck for 1. Oh, and then
But
Andrew
Alec's
getting
gonna
the
know where
second.
he
Andrew to
is now.
1v2. Well, bomb only has to come one way. He's gonna go ahead and break the glass, smoke up the ramp. So Andrew's gonna go ahead and peek on up, thinking he can get ahead of the game, making all this noise going up the rafters. Alec knows exactly where he is. Now holding an AK, waiting for him to come in, throwing down the second smoke. Andrew has no idea.
He can
He has
see the
every
bomb.
idea. What was that?
A little bit of a rust berry from Alec, but able to close out the round, and
What was
in
that?
nice fashion.
That was a
too.
crazy timing heaven right there.
What was the idea there?
Not for the final kill, but the
I think that the
profile's private. I can't get anything else.
I
His
think
profile's
that
private.
the
Okay.
technical difficulties on the back end. But looking good so far for Locally Hated. TSG forced into another light buy.
and the only kind of semblance of hope they have is Elixin with the Mac 10, able to get some sort of money. Zera gets a good tag onto Vulcan, but not worth
right.
his while. And Vulcan able to still sneak down lower, doesn't decide to take any space. And the rest of TSG are just kind of play a patient game outside. Andrew looking for some sort of peak or aggression from Locally Hated, not able to find anything, but
Unaware he could be down into B side.
and Astari just kind of missing the timing, but we'll see if this late lurk from, I believe it was Vulcan, pays any dividends. Vulcan, going ahead and breaking glass. Horizon holding for the peak, and Horizon gets domed by Zera. Zera good for 2, actually. Efex picks up 1. Fighting for his life on the second, picks up the second, and Vulcan now in a 1v3 situation. Kind of unwinnable for Vulcan, but
They should
like
be
I say all the
aware.
time, we have seen crazier things before.
Just getting the opportunity to save an M4 and armor doesn't necessarily matter, but Saber's going to go ahead and get that impact kill, hiding in CT spawn.
Very
Must have been
aware
there
of
the
that
whole round.
wraparound.
Yeah, and like you
Oh,
said,
Sorry. Oh, I see.
very high IQ play
My
from
bad.
Astari there. Kind of looking back towards ramp, not seeing anything, and then decides to slow peek back towards control room, completely aware that the timing is there. And straight into this round, we have a complete full buy from TSG and complete full buy from Locally Hated.
It's
And
like locally hated going for some lobby pressure here.
yep, Starry able to get an early pick onto Andrew and Hut, and Alec might actually start walking through. We have 2 Locally Hated members. Starry, good for 3! What a spray. Alec will be able to pick up at the flank player in lobby, and Vulcan now in a one-man mission.
Yeah, it's just tough whenever you're double swinging into someone and he's killing you both.
Yeah, and just goes to prove the skill of the locally hated players, able to pick up the double spray. Nade comes in, Efex picks up the final frag, and clean round from locally hated. TSG unable to find anything. Their plan's kind of foiled even before the round starts.
Excellent hold so far. Looks like TSG should be able to force up at least 3 or 4 rifles. Might be a little bit awkward. Couple SMGs. 1 SMG it looks like. Locally hated. Coming out really strong so far.
Really making an impact on their CT side. 5-0 against some FPL players. Oh my god, is that a title?
I think we're
That
going to
might
be
be a
getting a
title.
lot of engagement on Twitter tonight.
Oh lord. Efex going ahead and dropping a smoke into Hut. Kind of looking to stall any progression, or deter rather any aggression from the T's.
The T's
And
hear him fall from the silo, and then they still have a player up on the Raptors. That might catch him off guard. It might be a free kill or 2 coming out of the CT side.
And here's that drop off of Silo, but not into towards Mini. Looks like they're gonna send Horizon just solo with the Galil outside.
Got out left-handed
And
players.
seems like we're just gonna have a full-on A hit here, if I'm not mistaken. Pending Horizon's lurkout, and Vulcan actually taking a bold walk. Seems to be aware that there's a player, Asia, but decides to jiggle. Able to get a good peek onto Efex, good for 2. Another one onto Starry. Zera gets one onto Horizon, and Alec gets one on the Vulcan, but goes down to Brashy. And Saber and Zera now in a 2v3. Saber with the op, though. Very strong player. As I say that, gets the first. And Locally Hated in TSG now in a 2v2 retake. Saber able to pick up the second. And this is just like that. A completely winnable round for Locally Hated. Saber with the AK and 1v1 gets the tag onto him. Saber able to get the clutch.
Saber with the wall bangs from heaven.
What shots from Saber? Picks up the crazy 2K in the lobby and able to pick up the rifle and just dominate just as equally.
Saber was in a 2v3, but able to get all 3 himself after his teammate falling. Amazing clutch, able to keep it at a shutout 6-0 for locally hated.
And TSG just kind of looking aimless here. Not even aimless, I would more so say that Locally Hated and crew are just
Vulcan with a
ruining
big
any of their plans before they get started.
Andrew, just like the locally hated team, not looking too hot right now.
Massive default coming out from the TSG camp. Cross smokes are up outside. Horizon walking across really late. Takes contact with Zera, but Horizon comes out on top, able to get the pick onto Zera. And Alec coming up for a late peek up secret. Is gonna not see anyone and kind of communicate that it is not gonna be outside push. Sees Horizon, but we should know that Horizon is the alert player here. Saber gets destroyed by Andrew. Call it a pop and swing. Or what do they call it in now? Xanter? I'm uncultured. Vulcan picking up a late lurk kill onto Astari, and Efex should just be saving this up, and that is what he's going to do, running into CT spawn, but there's plenty of time for these Ts to hunt, and that is exactly what they're trying to do here.
This round should give a little bit of confidence over to the side of TSG. Before it seems like nothing that you were doing was working, able to get a clean 4-0, maybe 5-0, depending on how this goes. 5-0, huge for the confidence.
TSG able to pick up their first in the round, taking the op out of the hands of locally hated, but not actually carrying it over into the next round. And Saber able to pick it right back up. Although no head armor, but bearing the fact that all 5 Ts has AK, it's not that big of a deal. Saber going for an early peek. Red here.
He might have seen him. Doesn't seem like it.
Vulcan might have actually spotted him. Maybe not. They seem aware that there's some sort of push here, or might be some sort of push, but Saber looking for any aggression on the right side of the smoke might actually be... Missed the timing. Starts to walk around. Gets caught from Vulcan on top of Marshmallow, and Vulcan spots Sarah. Back credit card gets killed by Horizon, and Alec able to pick up a kill on a trade kill on the Horizon, and locally hated started to take this lobby aggression back, and Vulcan and Andrew now suddenly in a 2v3. Andrew looking to come out. Squeaky door, Vulcan picks up one on Astari. Efex gets caught jumping on the box by Andrew. Alec unable to hit his shots onto either of the players, and unfortunately,
Spray from Alec.
Lose another
Left
one.
A lot to be desired, to be honest, but TSG able to stack up another one. Now this buy for locally hated, they're gonna have nothing but a deagle. See if miracles can happen.
And all I'm saying is we have seen some pretty crazy deagle rounds in recent memory, whether that's in the MRQ or in the advanced and IM matches, and Horizon picks up an easy 3 onto the pistols outside, and
Eagle's still up.
Alec
Eagle's still alive.
in 2v5. Deagle is, like my crew said, still alive.
I can smell a miracle.
Practice. Oh, everything.
Thanks. Looking for that late lurk. Maybe to throw that lurker off for Alec, but we'll see
Unpopular
what.
opinion. That vanilla kukri, pretty good knife.
I was a big fan of vanilla knives for a long time. I think they're
I'm
extra
not so much
crispy.
of a fan of the kukri knife. I do have to say so myself.
I agree, but it has like almost looks like a Furia logo on it.
It's low-key kind of swaggy.
Bombo Brazil, let's see if Alec is able to actually pick up any. Gets one, and Vulcan picks up the refrag, but
Immediately traded out. You'll take one gun off someone
Yeah,
in
I
that
mean-
situation.
especially how that one unfolded, jumping off the roof, taking the damage, and just instantly picks up the headshot. I mean, not much you can complain about there.
Unlucky.
Able to
Let's see if-
force up.
Let's see if TSG are able to bring back to a 6-6 half, or if locally hater are going to be able to shut out this game, or shut out this half rather, like they had at the start. And and Alec going for very early secret aggression. I'm gonna get some info that is not an outside play, but it's almost a little too late. Sorry, getting a pick on the Brashy, getting a little overextended into Hut, and Starry has to hear the rotate coming in ramp, and who knows, maybe they're not actually going to go down ramp. Might want to go into J-Hall, but Saber is posted on that angle, and TSG seem to have just paused and are walking back into Trophy. Let's see if Astari, who has been very important in these rounds, can find anything. Vulcan walked out of Squeaky Door, able to get one on Astari. Now, locally hated are aware that this hit coming in. Astari able to pick up two, gets traded out by Horizon, and Alex Saber and Sarah in a 3v2 now. Horizon just getting toyed with on the ladder by Alec, and with that, they might not know. He's just going to run down the vent, and Zara has a free kill and free bomb. Zara 1v1 with Horizon. Horizon 1 HP, easy for Zara. Able to pick up
Easy
the 2k, and what a bait from Alec, and easy cleanup for Zara.
Yeah, I mean, the top Hut player, amazing way to play their life, trying to stay alive as long as possible, eventually dropping from the lobby push. Able to get two there. Pretty much cleaned up the round. And then who was that sitting bottom ladder?
Zara.
Zara?
That
Zara?
was Zara.
Big finish to the round from Zara.
It's very early for standard.
Really big
mini
for
utility. And TSG are looking to actually, what looks like, group up and go down ramp, and luckily hated have just kind of given that for free, but are playing the strong rotate, or the fast rotate rather, through vent. Horizon slow walking outside. Alec hears the glass breaking. Here's at least two. Able to get one. Astari gets another. And 4v3, 4 locally hated. Bomb not going down. Gets actually tapped by... Who is that? Can't see the bomb on the UI, but... Elixin. Oh, okay, I see where the bomb is now. I see where the bomb is now. Ready to get green colorblind. TSG in a 3v4 situation. Saber able to get an easy pick on the Elixin, and Vulcan just hiding in dark with the op and the Tech 9, able to find a pick onto Alec. And Horizon slow walking in, able to find a unsuspecting Astari, and Saber and Ethex now in a 2v2, 1v2 for Ethex, and Ethex with an MP9 sitting in decon. Let's see if he'll be able to activate just in time, or if he will be completely expected here. It looks like he can be expected. Unable to, actually able to get one. Vulcan posts on the angle with the op, and easy pickings for Vulcan.
Vulcan with a huge round, starting off with that early op pick, finishing off into the last two. Huge round. Ethex usually able to make those rounds interesting, but Vulcan and Horizon seems like they're doing everything for TSG right now. One more would be huge going into the CT half.
Yeah, you are crazy.
Vulcan with 142 ADR. 11 rounds in.
Saber, and I believe that's... We have just a straight lobby crunch from locally hated, and Starry runs out of ammo for it, but actually getting the kill, and the Starry picks up the kill that he started, and TSG back in familiar territory, 3v2, and Horizon's completely aware that Zara is there, and he's able to get that frag, and Vulcan 1v3 might look to save the op, but it is actually last round of the half, so he's going to have to go for this.
I'm a very big fan of that early lobby crunch last round, something very unexpected.
And
Feek is seen through the wall, just spammed by a star. He tries to drop down and make a miracle phase 360 ladder stall happen, just unable to transfer on that.
I think he didn't spin enough and then didn't hit the quick switch, you know.
If he YY'd one more time, shot might have been possible.
And
848 for locally hated though.
yes, indeed, big 8-4 for locally hated. We have seems to be a P250 and armor on Saber, utility on Alec, and utility on Ethex. Might be looking like an outside kind of play here. Big movement gang, Boxer Movement Club. Shout out, Launders. Vulcan able to get a first pick onto Saber. That's outside, and Horizon kind of getting overwhelmed by the Glocks. Gets a tag onto Starry. We can make some drop down, and Horizon playing close credit. Gets spotted, unable to get anything. Decides to push into Alec. Goes down to Zera, but gets the frag onto Alec, and Vulcan just peeking out from mini. Gets graded by Ethex, or just kind of fragged. And Elixin fighting for his life, and J Hall trying to prevent T's from taking that ramp control, and Astari and Zera just overwhelm him. Ethex looking for a late lurk onto the A site. Ethex able to pick up an easy pick on Andrew. Brashy just running up the ladder. Gets a good bit of damage onto Ethex, and Brashy going into the meat grinder, and what a pistol round from locally hated. Way to end it.
Taking that outside control, just completely encircling TSG almost. Locally hated with some beautiful pistol shots. Should convert that into a 10-4, barring something major. Like you always keep saying, we have seen crazier.
We have seen crazier things in any level of Counter-Strike, and that is what makes this game great, is that anything can and will happen.
Locally hated has seemed to look pretty good on these second round force-ups.
And we have a really aggressive lobby play from TSG.
Vulcan already donating a life.
Horizon able to get one onto Ethex, though.
Through the smoke, pure luck. Zera being able to walk down, Astari getting the kill on Horizon in garage.
And
Elixin
TSG are
walking
starting
up
to...
through secret. Andrew walking up through vent, hopefully starting to clutch down on these T's. Saber getting the kill on Hell. Brashy going down. They're going to go ahead and take Hell. Hopefully they go towards ramp. That's what I would do, especially after seeing that guy come out of secret. Started getting a kill on Elixin in A site, and then Alec getting the other kill on Andrew, also towards the A site.
Perfect anti-eco from locally hated. Just leave Astari on top of the roof to hold for the ramp, or the lobby crunch, and then have the rest of the team just kind of meatball outside.
Started with a huge 3 that round, just like you said. Playing very smart, methodically, slow, waiting for the pushes. You don't have to do anything too crazy, and locally hated, they always look good on those second round force-ups. Very rare to see him drop one.
We have a fast, squeaky push from Ethex. Fast mini smoke, and I think locally hated are going to call off this push. Astari walking into trophy, just missing the timing, able to pick up the kill on the Elixin, and Astari able to get one, and CTs are looking like they're ready to push into squeaky, but they will be walking into 2 players. Astari, Saber looking on top of Mini, looking for the player that he knows is underneath him. And he might actually get spotted out by credit. Alec able to get a pick onto Brashy. Andrew gets a trade frag onto Astari, runs into Hut to get a good kill onto Alec, and Saber now in a 1v2. Andrew 1 HP, Horizon coming up the vent, and this is winnable. Gets one. Saber drops Horizon to 34 HP. Unable to pull off the clutch, but was damn close to it.
If he had an AK, he had that. Just saying.
Saber has just pulled all of these clutches into something reasonable.
Unfortunately, we have TSG being able to buy into the 5th. They're into their 5th round. Slowly making some kind of a dent in the T money. T's really not being able to do anything else after this round. It looks like Alex is gonna set up some outside smokes as well. So they're gonna plan to take this round probably a little bit slower, especially because they don't exactly know what the CTs are going to do, with this being really the first present gun round in the half. Brashy. One lower. Horizon's gonna go ahead and spam. Those smokes are now out. They don't have much time left on them. Vulcan just not picking the right time to go ahead and peek through. Flashes come through that smoke, so Ethics can take the space, and that might be a little scary for TSG. Understanding that someone could be sitting here, it's going to really put a little bit of a pin in their plan. Movements won't be very fluid, especially if
also
they go
think
from
that
taking outside to inside.
they've already committed a lot of our 2 players down to the B site, and Vulcan looks like he's debating on whether or not he wants to go up the ladder. I believe is now, and Zera's gonna spot the first contact from Horizon.
That's another
Horizon's
smoke
gonna
gone.
drop the smoke.
Andrew's the only
And
player still with the smoke. 4 people towards A, though. They're really expecting Locally Hated to go back. The pincer of Ethics is slowly going to come in, creep in, lurk his way through. Hopefully he can get the kill on the one guy Hell. If he can get there, then they can go ahead and take B. It's completely free of starting the one guy ramp. Not necessarily going to happen. They're going to
And
attempt to hit A off of that pick, hoping that
unable
someone
to get the
rotates on
trade.
down.
And 20 seconds on the timer, like Truck says. Brashy able to get a pick onto Alec, and it looks like they're just trying to walk into a stack here. Efex able to get one, gets kill onto the Asian. Horizon sitting Tetris, able to get one bomb going down. Efex able to get it down, not able to get his gun out in time. TSG picking up a 6th.
5 more seconds and that's winnable.
Yeah, not a terrible round, just taking way too much time getting up through heaven there and trying to get the pinch. Good opening frag from the Astari. Horizon and Vulcan.
And Horizon
Sounds
completely
like both in
carrying
red.
this team.
Red.
Holy shit.
Doing literally everything, and then look at the damage and kill distribution from Locally Hated. That is
It is
beautiful.
Horizon Zero Dawn and the AK Vulcan skin really coming out up top,
2080
showing that they are players in FPL. Listen, they play where the pros play. Okay, don't underestimate them.
All I'm saying is there's a movement going on called Make Mythic Diamond Great Again, and we have a crazy push coming out from the T's going ramp, and Horizon good for 1, or actually good for 2, not able to pick up the 3rd. Efex and Astari looking good, able to get 2 pistol kills with Tech 9s. Vulcan already here, looking for the early frag. Vulcan getting toyed with on the door, and looking to open the door, but can't open the door. Question mark.
God!
And this is a winnable round for Locally Hated. Andrew makes himself known, drops the smoke double door, and goes to tap the bomb. Doesn't stick it though. And Andrew's looking for the play here, spams the smoke, decides to walk through, jumps out, grabs the kid. Now on the bomb.
Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him!
Doesn't get the kill, but he's not on. Gets back on it. Andrew, is he gonna stick it? He's sticking it. Is he gonna get the time?
No.
And Andrew
pulls
pulls off the stick, and what a chaotic round that was for
Efex and
Locally Hated.
Saber almost able to pull off something amazing on that full eco with the door play right there. But Andrew just playing with that smoke, just toying with the hearts of Locally Hated, able to pull that stick off at the end.
All I'm saying is that was a Tech 9 round from Locally
was a
Hated there,
very
and look at
good eco.
look at the economy of TSG right now. We have an MP9, 2 FAMASs, and pretty much full util. And
Dropping all 5 plus bomb down.
also no kid, if I'm correct, on the side of TSG. They're playing for the fact that they're not gonna... Oh, we do have 1 kid on Andrew. Shout out production truck acting as my colorblind filter glasses. Yeah, I would be able to see yellow. And Elixir has posted on this ramp push that seems to be forming up for Locally Hated. We have a Molly coming onto A, trying to draw, and he rotates. Elixir takes first contact, drops the first flashbang, and gets flashed himself, full blind. Horizon J-Hall takes damage to the Molly, goes down to Astari. Efex picks up a kill onto Elixir, and
Only one
already a
rotated down so
3v4.
far.
Vulcan, the player of this game. Let's see if he's able to pick anything up. Zera, with a great
Vulcan.
timing onto the ladder player, but just misses the hut player.
Vulcan with 2.
Zera's gonna hear the hut player. Vulcan gets 2. Zera on an insane
my.
flank. Saber gets demolished by Vulcan, and Zera in a 1v3 has to know that Vulcan is close to him. Going out for the peek, goes for the spam, not able to get the spam, and Vulcan, like we said, able to pick up for the impact player of this game. And
Vulcan just taking over, getting the 2v1 or the 1v2 in what's that call
Brashy
out
buy
right
a
there?
kit, Brashy buy a kit, Brashy buy a kit.
All right, never mind. But huge 4 from Horizon or Vulcan. Sorry.
Horizon. Horizon also buy a kit, please. Nah, fuck it, bro. They only need 3. I hope that bites them in the ass.
These opening frags from Astari have been very impactful.
great frag from Ethex on the Horizon, and locally hated have looked great on these Tech 9 rounds. And Saber is good for 1, so is Astari. Astari gets dinked with the M4, and Andrew just decides to try to run him down and is gonna hear the player rotating out, and Brashy is gonna hear him reuniting with Saber. Andrew looking for an aggressive peek, but locally hated, completely aware of this, able to hear him. Saber missing the shot onto him, draws out the peek. Andrew gets 2, and just like that, this round has almost fallen apart for locally hated. But Andrew is 1 HP, and Brashy takes contact. 2 smokes on the side of TSG. Ethex looking for this fight, and they actually do not have bomb. I believe it is down in. Zera able to get the pick, and Ethex able to get the pick on to Andrew. And like I said, locally hated have looked insane on these force rounds, Tech 9 rounds, and pistol rounds.
Absolutely crazy coming out of the locally hated side. Getting that round is huge. If you look at their shitty money, no one can buy it except for Brashy. They'll force back into it. Vulcan's getting an op. Never mind. I did not see it 4,800, but that's okay. It does not matter. They're gonna lose this round.
If there's an op in the
No
hands of
nades.
Vulcan, I would say anything is possible.
I don't
He's been
know
performing.
what this buy is. This buy has absolutely nothing. They have no nades. They have 2 flashbangs, 3 flashbangs. They couldn't get 2 FAMASs.
This round would pretty much spell the end for TSG looking at their economy.
TSG are riding their own graves at the moment. Absolutely getting bodied by this beautiful locally hated squad.
And
Saber
it's-
really gonna stab them all. Jab, 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 jab. Elixir only getting 2 kills on the CT half. Absolute garbage player.
And kind of a slow round from locally hated, and they're kind of looking to do what they do on the best on that pistol round and get Ethex into garage. The CT's kind of aware that this is probably what they're doing, but let's see if locally hated is aware that they're aware, and if Vulcan just shoots the railing, gets
That is
no damage
brutal.
onto Vulcan, and that is a brutal.
That could have changed the entire complexion of the round.
That would have changed the entire round, and Elixir able to get, it goes down to Astari, and Vulcan gets a kill on the Alec, and Vulcan now very scared of more players coming to push him heaven, and from what it looks like, we're going to see some sort of vent drop from the T's, and Bomb is able to make it down. Ethex lurking still in mini, and looking for the peak. They're seeing the shadow. Ethex good for 1, looking to get another, unable to. Bomb goes down. Zera in a 1v2 now. If there's anyone that can do this, it is Zera, but Vulcan.
Oh, not expecting the second person to come down into ramp room. Vulcan getting the kill with an M4, picking back up that op. And we're getting a 9th round for TSG. 9-11 locally hated. Still with the lead and a decent buy going into the following round. Ethex can definitely drop 1 or 2. Zera can drop 1 as well. Saber almost has enough money for a full buy, but we're gonna see definitely a strong buy come out of this out of this T side. Tactical timeout coming in though. They're gonna have to discuss and chat, figure out how they're going to beat their ass.
Yeah, even with Vulcan missing that first shot outside, it still kind of froze locally hated, stalled him out a little bit. Tried to funnel in through mini, but nothing going there. TSG able to transfer some huge frags right there. And that round, as I said earlier, it would have spelled the end for them if they weren't able to pick that up.
Locally hated had just slightly better timings on that round. It would have been completely different. Vulcan would have had his back turned for that kill. Really just was a 50-50 with that. As soon as Alec came up and did not reestablish heaven, it just kind of like, or establish heaven, not reestablish. It would have really changed the dynamic of the round. Goes to show how important your pieces are. But locally hated coming out with another nice wall of smokes. They are in fact ready to go with their bread and butter. Vulcan getting smoked off, even though he gets the kill onto a Starry. One of their openers biting the dust early from locally hated. TSG coming out full nades, really throwing as much as they absolutely can to try and set up some kind of barrier, something that tells locally hated to step back. But you will not see that happening as they are marching forward into the wall of smokes. Potentially going to go take that lower. At this point, TSG has to expect someone potentially there, but no one has dropped down the vents yet. B site's still completely clear.
And it almost seems like Vulcan is so paranoid of this late outside walk that has already made it down the vent. And Efex is able to actually make it out of hut, and Zera picks up a late lurk onto Vulcan. Zera good for another, and Zera in another clutch situation. Already has 2 under belt. Nade comes in deep. Small boom. Small comes in backside from Zera. Forces the double peek right. Horizon gets the headshot onto Zera. And this is looking a lot closer than it was a couple rounds ago.
I would love to see locally hated. They did such a good job early in these T rounds of getting Ethex up through outside, up into the T side spawn, maybe heaven. And that was very crucial for both sides whenever they were picking up the T rounds.
And we're going to see another Tech 9 round come out from locally hated, and
keep your eyes on
Locally Hated
Ethex. He's been lethal with this.
That's what I am saying. We have a fast squeaky push from the T's. Smoke for...
And he's
never
gone.
ends up coming in, and it kind of just looks like a meat grinder round for the CTs, and locally hated have to be feeling the pressure of this one at this point.
Should be full buys for the rest of the game for both sides.
See if yes, we do end up getting the op onto Saber, and some good util across the board. Complete buyout from TSG, even dropping the FAMAS to upgrade. And let's see if Vulcan is just going to go back to outside, and yes, he is with that op, and hopefully Hater are going to send Zera to try and deal with him again. Lixon, kind of looking for any information. Ramp. Nade comes in from Horizon to try and get more information. Vulcan sends another nade, but nothing peeking behind it. And
looks like they're waiting on this ramp smoke to fade, and they might try to go fast. Don't mind
it
this.
looks like
heavy outside.
Vulcan is completely aware of this, drops the ramp smoke, and Lixon and Vulcan both give up the space, and TSG taking the pick and given the space. Zera able to find a late walkout onto the mini player. Now knows there's one back site, but not aware that there's nobody heaven. Andrew kind of in a tight spot here. Horizon gets a frag on Alex. Saber gets one on Andrew. Zera gets a jumping, or falling rather, kill on the Vulcan, and Zera now working through lower, breaks the glass. Correct me if I'm wrong, but TSG have the bomb, no, in hell?
Would appear
Is
that
that
way
what's
on the map.
going... Is that what's going on here? The
Yes,
bomb
sir.
is down hell. And so locally hated are looking like they're going to be out of this round. Going to try and take the easy guns they have in their hands into the next round. And kind of unfortunate series of events.
Yeah, both T sides from both teams coming out very strong. So far, picking up 8 rounds apiece. Yes, let's see if TSG is able to pick up that 9th. That would be very crucial. How crucial, you might ask? Game winning, I would say.
And I also think it is kind of insane the amount of impact that TSG or that Vulcan has had this whole game. We now see him 31 and 15 coming up on match point. Going for an aggressive peek outside, and locally hated, not expecting the red push. But Vulcan now kind of stuck on an island here, unless he just decides to walk through these smokes. Doesn't decide to. Ryzen coming to help him. Andrew able to pick up a frag onto Astari. And locally hated in a 3v5. Ethex good for 1. Picks up the AK and gives that HUD space. Vulcan picks up a good frag onto Ethex, and they hit it in a 2v5. Alec gonna walk out of Squeaky Door with the op in hand, unable to find anything, and Brashy picks up the final 2. 13-11 for TSG. What a comeback from them, but I want to, like I said, Vulcan coming in with a strong showing, proving what an impact player he is, and
Vulcan just did an amazing job that entire game of moving the op around, not settling in one spot, not letting locally hated just run from one side to another and avoid it.
it was very, I don't know, 33 and 16 is insane.
I'd love to see that ADR.
That's 136.
Oh.
All right. Well, from
GG's,
here, us here
unfortunate.
at Locally Hated, that is going to be it for us. We have our next match next week against, let me see, Holy Moly on Monday, April 21st at 8 p.m. Catch us here live, same time, same place. Later.